The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the October 26th fantastic Friday edition of today's Opening Bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes. Thanks so much for joining me, folks. I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that each of us need to lead an inspired life. Leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. So let's go take a look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call Developing Your Craft. Now, it's really a takeoff of yesterday because yesterday we were discussing leadership. And yesterday's tool is leadership. You know, it's always about leadership. We're going to talk about the leadership in the markets out here. You do have just a quick peek here, you've got the NASDAQ futures have turned positive. Of course, when the NASDAQ future was down 45 points, I looked over to Tom and said, now is the time when it's going to turn. Of course, I was looking at certain indicators out there, and a wild ride for sure. We're going to get to those markets. We're going to take a look at leadership, but this is about the leadership of you. So when developing your craft, folks, you want to make sure effective leadership basically boils down to consistently nurturing it. And what I mean by that, it requires constant study. And there's 5 things, there's 5 elements, 5 areas that you need to pay special attention to when it comes to leadership. The first area is the study of possibility. You've got to always be able to play the what-if game. Well, what if we're coming into a full moon coming this Friday? What if this? What if that? That is the first element, the area of possibility. The second area of leadership, the study of opportunity. You always have to realize that the universe is always providing opportunities to us. Sometimes it's much closer than you think. The third element, the study of ability. A good student, to be a good student, folks, you've got to be able to continuously invest in yourself to improve your abilities. You've got to do it on a continuous, ongoing, constant basis out there. The fourth, the area of inevitability. Ask yourself the following. In all honesty, if I keep up my current daily practices, is that going to lead me to where it is that I want to go? And if the answer is no, you've got to change your daily practices out there. Number 5, as we round it out, the study of rationality. When you're rational, folks, you will come to the right conclusion all the time. Do not ever operate out of fear. Learn to be able to change your state because in fear, you will do nothing than make poor decisions out there. Don't do that. If we want to trade these markets, just simply get in your body armor out there. Take a look at whatever indicators it is that you use, patterns that you use in order to be able to trade. Maybe it's candle signals. Whatever it is, do not operate in fear, folks. If you pay attention to those 5 areas, the area of possibility, the study of opportunity, the study of your abilities, the area of inevitability, and the study of rationality, folks, you will always be a better leader. So let's go step up to the next level here. Let's go. And you want to step up to the next level. You know why? Because the view is always better out there. So let's go take a look at these markets here. Right now, we've got the Dow futures trading off about 27 points. ES Mini almost flat. We normally start with the ES Mini, but not this morning here. We're going to take a look at the NQ, the NASDAQ futures out there, because that's where the story is at. You've got the Russell 2000 futures down about 2 points. King dollar up 9 ticks right now. Gold up $2, trading out at 17.15. Silver up 10 pennies out at 32.18. Light sweet crude flat, 85.93. Over in Germany, we've got the DAX up 30 points. Something to think about. The DAX testing an area. The DAX is actually the strongest equity, if you will, the strongest index out there. We'll take a look at that, and we'll take a look at why. You've got the FTSE down 2 points. That'll be green here in the not-too-distant future. Over in Asia last night, we didn't do a very good job of handing the ball off. You know, they saw the NASDAQ futures push down to that 2604 level, and that spooked them. The Nikkei was off 122 points last night, gave back all of the gains from the prior session. You had the Hang Seng down 264 points. That was down 1 2/10%. And the Shanghai was the leader, down 37 points, but that was 1 7/10%. Our call-in number is always 877-927-6648. So, what did we have happen last night? What we had happen last night, Apple is released just prior to releasing their earnings. Of course, there was these few little tidbits that were getting out into the media, but the stock was halted until 4:50. Well, between 4:30 and 4:50, the bears rushed in. That's this candle that we're looking at right here. This is the candle, folks, that from between 4:30 and 5, and you can see it traded as high as 26.54. So that was the high. The low was 26.04. 45 points, maybe just a tad more than that out there. That in one 30-minute session, folks, that is volatility. Now, what type of candle did it create out there? Oh, it created one of Stevie's hammer candles. And you want to understand how to trade hammer candles. You want to understand the power of really all candles out there, because the market is continuously communicating to us. You just have to be willing to change, take the information that it is providing to you, and just go ahead and make whatever changes that you need. Now, what we've had here is we had a nice bounce this morning. That's the first bounce that we've had. That's where the bulls rushed in. Well, on that hammer candle, which you can see here, with the market moving all the way down to that 26.04 level, what happened? The bulls came in. It wasn't just Tom and me. It was somebody else that was also buying all of the Apple stock and all the Amazon stock. You can see I had to put my bear rug to rest. That doesn't mean the market might not close a little bit lower today. That is one possibility, but I do believe we're going to see a bounce next week. Could last more than a week out there, but we'll take things one day at a time. The bulls definitely inside the cues. A number of hammer candles being formed here this morning on the 30-minute chart. You've got one right here down at 1:30 this morning. You've got another one at 4:30 in the morning. There's probably a few more little hammers out here on the NASDAQ futures. So the bulls came out, and that was after the release of, perhaps it was the GDP expectation, because the U.S. economy grew at 2%. Now it's the bears' turn. The bears are checking into work right when they were supposed to, and now they're going to pull back. And so it's going to be about how this pullback is handled as we come into the open out here. Certainly a wild ride, because if you were up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, you saw the Dow futures off 100 points or so. That's why you want to be able to tune in here, because we're not going to tell you just where it's at. We're going to tell you where things are going. And right now, what you should expect is a pullback, because in the 30-minute chart here, you've had the NASDAQ, the ES Mini, the Russell, all get into an area where they were just a tad overbought, just intraday out there. There's more room to run to the downside for sure. Now, you get a close in the NASDAQ. Here's the deal. You get a close below 26.04. That's a long way down there. Being long is certainly wrong out there. But I do have my bullhorns out. I retired that bear carpet. I actually went ahead and took it over to the dry cleaners, because I knew that I really wouldn't use it for a few days out there. Now, let's go take a look at the let's go take a look at the daily chart, actually. Let's take a look at the daily. Let's open it up out here. If we take a look at the NASDAQ futures, this candle here right now on the daily chart, if we were to close here, and it's not, but if we were to close here, that is the formation of a hammer candle on the daily chart. That would be the first bullish sign on the way down after making the highs out there on September the 21st. Absolutely broke that trend line going back into the June 4th level. That's what you're looking at, that black line on the screen. If we go take a look at retracements, let's go from the low of June 4th all the way up to the high where it made that shooting star candle. You're going to see, I'll put this with black lines out here, make it, maybe the red lines were easier to read. There we go. Let's go back to the red horizontal lines out there. And the price projection, a 0.618 retracement. And 618, folks, that's a number you absolutely want to make sure that is a part of your trading tools, that is on your ruler out there. Why? Because Suite 618, number one, that's the address here at TFNN. And it's the address where once you get there, you're going to come in and you're going to stay for a while. In this case here, that is, we take a look at that as being floors, 382, 618, and 786. So you've got the NASDAQ futures moving down to 2602. 2601 really would have been the exact number. 2604. That is close enough for my work out there. That number very important. Why? Because if you do close down at that low, you'll have another wide-ranging bar down at Suite 618, and it'll want to go down one more floor, and that means that Stevie was off by a day or so. But I don't think so. Folks, I don't think so. Let's go take a look at the DAX. Let's go see what the DAX is doing out here as we tool around the world. The DAX in Germany. Take a look at that candle out there, folks. We're taking a look, number one, Mario Draghi Day. That was September 6th. That day here was when Mario said he was going to save the world. Well, let me tell you, over in Germany, they believe that to be the case. If you take a look at the high of that session, 71.7232. Take a look at the next session. You got a small little gap out there, a small little window. That next session was 71.8260. That was the low. Just a little bit of a window out there. 71.8260. Write that down. So far, the DAX has not closed below that. It's gotten down there to try to repair that window, but it has not. You still have an area here of very, very strong support. The DAX, folks, the DAX, believe it or not, that is the strongest index that I've been able to find out here because this thing is testing. It's above September 6th. I don't know if we'll see anything above September 6th. We'll go take a look at our markets out here, but the DAX has got some strength in it. What does that mean? Well, the DAX has been traveling in this little sideways box here, consolidation area. We talked yesterday morning about the sideways consolidation areas, and I said that because the market was moving down, that it was going to resolve itself to the downside. That's, in fact, what happened on the 30-minute charts. It resolved its way to the downside. Well, the DAX is moving up. It's got a consolidation box at the top. It's got to first get up there. But I think what it's signaling to us is it wants to take out its highs, believe it or not. 877-927-6648. Dow futures off about 31. We'll be right back, folks.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks, in the pre-market here. Goodyear Tire looks like they've had a flat. They looks like they are calling out to the Road Ranger out there for a repair. They closed out at $12.30, trading out right now at $11.60. Their net income looks like $110 million versus $161 million from the prior year. Let's see, earnings per share 41 cents versus 60. Revenues $5.26 billion versus $6.06 billion. So they're having a little bit of a flat this morning. They're not the leader to the downside, though. That goes to VeriSign. VRSN is the ticker symbol. They closed at 46.60. They're on the side of the road with Goodyear as well, trading out right now at 38.30. That's a pretty decent drop there. You got Deckers Outdoor next in line. They closed at 35.49. Let's see if they were out with earnings. They're trading right now at 28.90. What's going on here with Deckers Outdoor? Let's see here. They had net sales $376 million versus $414. Net income was $42 versus $62 million. So they're having some trouble. Chipmos Technology, the ticker symbol there, IMOS. 1182 is what they closed at. They're trading at 1030 right now. That's to the downside. To the upside, you got Cerner Corp, CERN is the ticker symbol. They're having a very nice morning. Closed out at 68.47, traded at 77.50. Expedia, next in line, they closed at 51.25. They're trading out at $59 right now. Amazon showing a loss. They haven't done that in a while. However, closed at 222 and trading out at 228.63. Apple up this morning here, closed at 609, trading out right now at 610.81. Not much. However, you got to take a look at the strength. Apple didn't even come close to making their numbers. All the talk out there, I can't say all the talk, but the talk that I did hear of with regard to Apple seems to me like all the financial folks out there, with the exception of Tom and myself, are missing the boat out there because they're talking about iPads and the iPods and the phones, and it's really all about Apple threw out a game changer yesterday, and seems to be overlooked here. And it is basically taking out or trying to take out or competing with Pandora Radio. So they are going to get into the internet radio business out there, and folks, it is huge. That is, Apple is, it is a media company, and they've just taken that next step in redefining their business. It isn't being talked about, but it will be talked about, because that is going to be a huge change in the way. It's just adding to the media conglomerate that they have become. And it's always about asking yourself one question: what business am I in, and what business should I be in? You always want to be retooling yourself, folks. That's why you want to use those 5 areas of leadership, because you've got to lead yourself out there. So let's go take a look at some of these other markets out here. Let's go take a look at the euro. Let's go see what the Queen is doing. Let's go into the currency marketplace. I've got to let's go to a daily chart here. Times daily, and see what the euro is doing. So the euro, what the euro did finally, Finally, the euro had cracked that long-term neckline support area that had been tested. You got to close below that yesterday. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get rid of that. We're going to be paying attention to this little sideways box that it's traveling in. So we know that it broke that area. That means it could go lower, but now let's take a look at other patterns that are out there. So finally, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. We'll also take a look at the euro from the lows to the highs. What you can see out here is the retracement on the euro on the daily chart hasn't even made it to that first floor, 0.382. This had a very, very shallow HAL retracement out there. Hasn't made it to 1.27391. That would be so normal. And you're talking about a 1.618 butterfly that was made to the upside. Folks, that is like a bungee cord out there. You know, in fact, that's what we saw going on in the NASDAQ futures yesterday at that 4:30, between 4:30 and 4:50. It was a bungee cord, you know, and it was all the way down. And what happens is that's why you don't want to operate out of fear. You know, it's going to go ahead and bounce all the way back up there. Well, if you take a look at a 1.618 butterfly, let me tell you, for it not to be able to do a 0.382 retracement yet has to make you say, something to think about. Now, well, if you take a look at this, let's just simply get rid of the red line out there. In fact, I'm going to get rid of the retracement line. Now, as we take a look at patterns here, let's draw some lines in. What we can see here is what the euro is doing. It's just setting up a little sideways consolidation. Well, that wasn't much of a line. Let's try that again. Let's try the drawing the line out here. This thing is setting up a sideways consolidation. And I'll go back before we, as we come back after the market opens, we'll go take a look at that sideways consolidation from yesterday where I showed you that it would resolve itself in the direction it came from. That was to the downside. That's what happened in the futures markets. Now, this has to make you say, something to think about. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. TFNN and Great Panther Silver have teamed up for another exciting silver giveaway. The Great Panther Silver Halloween giveaway will be taking place at the end of October, and for 3 full days, we'll be giving away silver coins and bars every hour from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. to one lucky winner randomly chosen. There's no purchase necessary. For more information and to fill out your registration form today, simply visit the front page of TFNN.com where you'll find all the details. October 29th, 30th, and 31st, we'll choose one lucky winner that will receive a silver coin or bar courtesy of Great Panther Silver. Winners will be announced live on the air each hour for 3 full days. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to win free silver from TFNN and Great Panther Silver. Register today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com, and for more information on Great Panther Silver, you can click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex, symbol GPL, or on the Toronto Stock Exchange, symbol GPR.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
And we're off to the races. Nobody is awake yet. Nobody's out of the gates. You got the Dow down 6 points right now. S&P off 1.5. Composite down 3. Russell 2000 still in the gate, down 23 ticks. You got Microsoft up 5 cents. Intel off 3. Google down $1.30. Apple off $4 and change. Right now, Priceline leading the charge the way up there, up $25 right now. That's up 4%. Varian Medical Systems, VAR is the ticker symbol. They're up 17% this morning, up $10 and change. Cerner just behind them, up $10, 14%. Expedia up 15%. Amazon up 2.75% to the downside. VeriSign off 18%. HMS Holdings having a tough day, down 25%. Decker's off 15%, and that's it. Trust me, there's other things to the downside. Let's first go take a look at this sideways consolidation. We took a look at this yesterday. This was a 30-minute chart here in the Dow. This thing had been consolidating. It had a hammer low that came in at 11 o'clock in the morning. That was on October 23rd. When we came in yesterday's show here, you had, the Dow futures were up 60, 70 points. Of course, I came in. It was 9 o'clock. I said, well, not so fast, folks. This thing is running right into a resistance area. It had been tested going all the way back to the 23rd. That was number one. Number two, I said, look, this has been a sideways consolidation here. And the sideways consolidation, you go back and take a look at all the sideways consolidations. Predominantly, it's going to resolve itself to the same direction that it came from. Well, what direction was this coming from? To the downside. Then you want to do a price projection. How do you do a price projection? Well, let's go see if I can use this line tool here. Let me see if I can be creative. I'm going to go from the top of that box all the way down to the bottom. This might be a little crude, but I'm going to try to do it anyways. Let's change the color on it. Let's change this to red, and let's make this thing as wide as we can. There we go. So there's the measurement from the top of the box to the bottom. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this same tool here, and now I'm going to go, I'm going to take that from the bottom of that range all the way down there. That is what you can expect. Look at what it is that you got to go ahead and move this line off to the side. If you're just listening to us on the radio, we absolutely thank you for doing that. Maybe you're listening on your mobile device. What you can do is you can go and watch this on Tiger TV on Channel 9. Let's go to our first caller. Let's go to Lou in Nashua. Lou, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's a good time to get into SLV. Okay,
so we're going to take a look. That is the ProShares Silver ETF out here. And here's what I take a look at. So silver, it's a possible trade out here that I can take a look at. I'd want it to prove itself to me. And what I'd like to see it do, Lou, is I'd like to see silver close above $32.40. It's at $32.28 right now. I want to see it take out this candle here from October 23rd. And the open on that candle was $32.39. If silver can close above that, I could see taking a trade in the SLV. Otherwise, I think you just need, I'm not seeing enough bullishness on the silver side just yet out here. If it closes below it, today is the opportunity for it to do so. So it's trading at 32.29 right now. I would just sit tight on the trigger out there.
And you're looking at 32.40.
32.40, yeah. It gets a close above that. There's a little technique that I taught to students last week, and, because it's came down to the 0.382 level, and it's holding here. So what I could see silver doing, a normal bounce in silver would be to the 0.618 of that move down. That would take silver up to $34, and that would be a pretty decent move probably in the SLV. But let it prove itself to you, okay?
Okay, thanks.
You bet. Let's go to Rick in Orlando. Rick, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Money Master. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great. Good to hear your voice as always.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking at taking a short position in MS, Morgan Stanley.
Morgan Stanley. Okay, give me a second here to refresh my screen because I know I don't have active data out here. There we go. Okay, so you're taking a look at Morgan Stanley. Probably one of the things that Rick is looking at here, there's almost a high volume low out here that has not been tested. That is a downdraft from July 19th. You had 61 million shares down there. So if we take a look at Morgan Stanley, let's go see what it has done here. You had a nice little bearish engulfing candle here, Rick, on the 18th. A little bit lower close. You have this nice little shooting star candle out here on the September 14th. So you've got a pretty decent area of resistance out here on Morgan Stanley. Let's just draw the lines across here so everybody can take a look at what it is that we're looking at now. Right now, the price. Here's the only problem with going short Morgan Stanley right now, where it's at, because you're really in the middle of a little bit of a range out here. I'm going to draw the other line that I'm taking a look at across so that you can see it too, because I know you're watching us on Tiger TV.
Yes.
And so you've got, looks like Morgan Stanley had this little gap up, this little window. So September 6th, let's see if it did. September 6th, the high is 1636. We know there's the low on the next candle, 1640. So there's a gap. So that little window there has been tested once. If it comes down and tests it a third time, and what that really says to me is your potential reward here is going to be in about the 1630 level, and it's at 1709. And you're really in your better opportunity for the short will be if it comes back up and it tests that little resistance area again, maybe in the 1850 range. Then at least your back would be up against the wall, because right now you're just kind of like even Steven, right in the middle. And, and I just, that area, you have to really respect that little gap. It isn't closed. That window's not repaired, even though you got down into it on the 26th. To me, until the body closes it, it's still a support area. So I think you've got your better chance on maybe taking a short there is if it bounces up on lighter volume into into that little resistance area.
Yeah, that gives me more of a travel distance, like you said. If it bounces off of it on lower volume, then I got a better chance, don't I?
Now, I'll give you the other side of the trade. The other side of the trade is it comes down to the 1630 level, does it on less than 23 million shares, then I would take a long position. Okay. Well, because look at you would be looking at getting back up at least to the 1770 level, maybe 1857. But that's the way Morgan Stanley looks to me right now.
Yeah. Oh, thanks so much, Steve. Yeah, I'm kind of reluctant to go long. There's a few long opportunities, but it's just so shaky out there. I'm just kind of being patient and kind of leaning more towards the shorts.
Well, look, then if you are, and that's a look. I absolutely understand that. What I would wait is I would wait then. I would go ahead and I would relax and I would wait a little while, maybe towards the end of next week, and see if this bounce that we're going to get is on light volume. Okay, because if you do that, and then because you like maybe take a look at Morgan Stanley, this should bounce up towards that high again. Okay.
Yeah, good. Thank you so much, Steve. You have a good day now.
You too, and have a great weekend. So
Thank you, sir.
You bet. So come back to the markets. We got the Dow up 24 right now. Let's go back to the, I want to take a look at the futures here and see what's going on. So we got, give me 1 second, I want to take most specifically, I want to take a look at the Qs. Yeah, so boy, the Qs. So what I would do here is there will be an intraday pullback. So can I guarantee it? Yeah, pretty much. So there will be an intraday pullback here, and it's really going to be identifying what the volume on the pullback is. It's had one heck of a move from early this morning out here. Certainly had a heck of a move, being down 45 points at 4:50 p.m. Yesterday. So I would sit tight here, let the market do its things. The bears are just kind of sitting out there, just like Rick. They're just sitting out there ready to take some action. And I think that we will see the market pull back, and you want to measure what that type of pullback is from volume standpoint. You can go into the intraday charts, so you can go into the intraday charts of the what we'll do is we'll do that during the Nadex trading hour. Market's only been open for, 13 minutes, so not going to get much of a reading. So let's go start taking a look at stocks that are popping and dropping out here. And let's start with VeriSign. Let's start with VeriSign. That is down 19% this morning. The ticker symbol on VeriSign is VRSN. VRSN is the ticker symbol, gapping down this morning with volume. Oosh. Okay. So coming back to its blowing through one swing point, which was the July 23rd area, getting all the way back in one fell swoosh to June 4th out there. One by one, stocks getting picked off. Not really a great bullish sign out here. There was some, let's see if there was some institutional selling on this thing. Well, the first sign of it was really yesterday out here when you had some high volume. This will come all the way back, believe it or not. It should come back at least the first spot. It's not that far away from it, 35.18. That is September 7th, 2011. So in one day, it's taking back over a year and a month, pretty much. That's pretty wild, isn't it? And with volume. The volume on that day was 14 million shares. And, if we take a look at volume so far today, 4.2 million shares. So this thing has got some real trouble. Markdown in VeriSign has started big time. Let's go take a look at Deckers Outdoors. DECK is the ticker symbol. They're struggling this morning, down about 17%, gapping down. Of course, this has had some institutional selling in it for a while. So this is another gap down. Look at all the gaps in this thing. Man, this used to be one of those high flyer IBD stocks. And folks, you have to be careful in the IBD world out there. Do not get overweighted in IBD stocks. So let's put this on a weekly chart here, see where this thing is moving back to. And so this is going to head down to at least 22.05. Of course, that A to B equals CD down. The A leg on this started up at the highs at $118. It's at 29 right now, folks. So that was only in November 2011. That was your A point. Your B point on this on the weekly chart was down at December 30th, down at the 75.50. Does a really shallow bounce out here, less than a 0.382, maybe 0.382 into February 17th, 2012. That set up the rundown of larger than the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. This stock here, this equity is toast. It is going all the way back down to $13.41. Maybe it'll stop at $19. That's another $10. So I hope that nobody out there listening in is in Deckers Outdoor. There is no reason to be in that equity. Dead meat out there. Let's go take a look at HMS Holdings. That is struggling this morning for sure. HMSY, I believe. Yeah, HMSY is the ticker symbol. I got to type in the right ticker symbol, otherwise it will be struggling to find the actual chart. HMSY. There we go. Down with some volume already this morning here. I see this is not the first gap. This is the third gap. That's interesting. This could be an exhaustion gap here. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We'd have to do the measurements here. I don't have a calculator handy. So let's go. Here's what somebody could do. Maybe somebody in the den could do this for me. That would be great. I could use some assistance out here. So we go measure the most recent gap here. Was the low was on October 3rd. And if nobody in the den is doing it, you should do it at home. So October 3rd, we're looking at a low of 31.81. And the high of the day where it gaps down to October 4th is 29.40. So somebody do that math for me. 29.40. Minus 31.81. First gap, we can see that was small. The first gap on this was from August the 23rd out there down to that gap there. You can see the low there was 34.73 to the high of 34.22. So that was a small gap. Now we're taking a look at this third gap. That's the low of yesterday's candle low. So this one here, do another math. So 26.15 is the number. We're going to use as the high right now today, 22.01. So that's like $6, right? So we can just, so $6. So that versus 25, 26 versus 31. So about $5. So it looks like we've got both dollar-wise and perhaps percentage-wise larger gap down. So this could be an exhaustion gap. Now I'm not saying to step in front of this, but we'll come back to this, because what this is doing here, this is also coming all the way back to the swing point of August of 2011. Now, we know that those August swing points in 2011 are really important. Now, it doesn't really have a lot of volume. I'm going to put this on a weekly chart out here on this equity. But if volume today isn't too bad, so far 1.5 million shares. That last gap down was 7 million shares. Well, it's not exactly too good out there. Let's go put this on a weekly chart, but we'll come back to it just simply. So don't step in front of this, but we'll make sure that we come back and we'll just pay attention to it and see how a three-gap play might be looking for this equity. Let's come and take a look at the weekly chart. Oh, that's a nasty thing. That is a nasty thing. So volume here on the weekly, this is where it's really going to come down to. You're going back to August 12, 2011, 5.4 million shares. Prior to today, 3.5 million shares. So it's probably going to have the volume. They're going to have to wait for some type of bullish signal out here. But it's possible this is a three-gap play. Anyways, let's go take a look at what is popping out there, and that's Priceline. Priceline has got some real juice in it, PCLN, and Priceline may be taking its cue from Expedia that was out with numbers. I don't think, well, we'll go see if Priceline was out with numbers, but it is moving up today. Let's see here. Doesn't look like a great equity here, but let's go see if Priceline was out with numbers. No numbers that I see. Up with $30 right now. Of course, this thing here has a major window that is open out here from August 7th when it gapped down with huge volume. 6.7 million shares. May not sound like a lot, but at a $600 stock, that's a ton. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, Then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. Flat market right now. Dow up 1 point. S&P up 50 cents. Composite up 9. The bulls hanging out in the NASDAQ out there. Russell 2000 up 91 cents. Having a nice morning here is Varian Medical Systems up 17%, up $10 and change here. Now this is a little personality stock here. Look at all the gaps down and up. This is now trying to go tackle the last area here where it had a downdraft. That happens to be the day of April 26. Moves down with 6.3 million shares in trading during the first 25 minutes of trading, 1 million shares. So it should have the volume to take that on. This thing's got a little high volume low here that has not been tested. That will eventually be tested. That's the July 26 time frame. That has 6.3 million shares to the downside. So running right into a little bit of a supply line out here, Varian Medical Systems. Let's go take a look at Amazon. That is up this morning here. Amazon out with numbers. They're up $10 here. AMZN is the ticker symbol. I thought I had it out here. I don't, so let's go ahead and call it up on the screen here. AMZN is the ticker symbol. So moving up nicely here. Amazon coming down into really an area where there were two signs of strength out here that have held. And this one here, which is important, you've got the most recent one, happened to be the July 27th level. You had 11 million shares. That created a little bit of a window there. The prior session high on July 26 was out at 221.45. You can see that it got down into that gap yesterday, closing at its session lows at 222.92. Seems like somebody knew the numbers ahead of time. And I believe they certainly sold. I hope they didn't go short because they're not having a really good morning here. So that window, that area of support is really still out there. That would be the low of yesterday, now right in that range. So you've got some decent volume in here today. 3 million shares already. Yesterday was down with 6.7. What is that? And also you've got this little war chest right over here, this supply line. The support area, which was the gap up on April 27, 22 million shares out there. That price level, the high there is 228.69. You're 233 right now. What does this set up? This sets up Amazon making another run for its highs out here. So it could bust them down. What's it going to do? It's going to go check out the view up at the upper levels. The first place where it's got to tackle is October 18th, though. That area, 242 to 250. If it can get through there, and then where I would suspect that it would bounce to would be the October 5th level, right in the 257-ish range. Trading out at 232 right now. That is on Amazon. Let's see what other leaders we've got out here to the upside and to the downside. So leading to the downside, you've got Constant Contact. So what are those guys? Let's see, what are they doing? CT CT is the ticker symbol. Software company. They had GAAP net income of $6.6 million. Doesn't tell me what they did prior to that. I wanted to see the comparative. Let's go take a look at the stock chart anyway here. Oh, got to do that quickly. The ticker symbol, CT. And stay tuned, folks. We've got the Nadex Bull Bear Binary Option Hour coming up next. And so this is gapping down. This is its second gap down with volume. Down, let's put this on a weekly, give you maybe a target where this thing is headed to, which basically is, headed towards its lows of October 2008. There won't be anybody, there's hardly anybody in this equity that is in the money. It's headed to $10.31. It's at 13 right now. Folks, have a fantastic weekend, fantastic Friday. Stick around for the Nadex Bull Bear Binary Option. If not, I'll see you on Full Moon Monday morning. Take care, folks.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.